Hi, it's Sandy Parker and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to work on our art journal. We're going to redo a hot mess. I hope you stay tuned. Well, if you don't remember this, I've already ripped most of it off, but it was a street scene and it's on the inside cover of my art journal and I hate it. It's bugged me. I even put a hot mess right there because it made me so crazy, and now I'm trying to just kind of tear everything off. I don't really need to because I'm going to be putting cardboard over it, but I just thought I would show you that so you know what we're starting with. It's a mess, a hot mess. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to use some of this PVA glue. So what I'm going to do, and get this out of the way for now, and I'm just going to get my craft mat from underneath. This is one of the Dollar Tree mats that you get, their cutting mats. And this is a box of some Raisin Bran. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it down on my paper like that. And then I'm going to take just your standard brush, and it doesn't matter that this has purple paint on it from another project I did. In case it comes out purple, you don't have to wonder, what's that purple from, Sandy? Doesn't matter. We're going to be putting aluminum foil on this, so the aluminum foil will hide our purple glue. And the PVA glue is used for book binding, and it's bendable. There's a lot of good things about PVA glue. It tells you right there. It dries acid free, it's solvent free, it's water soluble, and it's for bookbinding and paper projects. And I'm going to be working on a journal album for our great niece for college. And so I got this out specifically to do this with. I've had the bottle for a year or so. Forgot I had it. And then I started thinking about it because I was watching a video where somebody was using this glue, and I thought, wait a minute, I think I have some of that glue. Sure enough, looked in my little stash of glue, and there it was. Okay, you're going to get your aluminum foil. Mine is one of those Dollar Tree things where you pull it out of a box and it like pulls out in sheets. So that is a little bit of a problem, because you don't really want any kind of words on it. And I didn't realize until just now that this just happens to say the words Reynolds Wrap right there, embossed on it already. How lucky for me. So I'm going to try and emboss this without having the words Reynolds Wrap be in my end project. I got a couple bubbles there, but I'm just going to play with them until they're gone. I got another word Reynolds Wrap right there. Don't want it too much, but I've got it. Then, before you go any further, what I do, and this is really important, if you want to sharpen your scissors, this is a good way to do it. Anytime you use scissors with aluminum foil, it should sharpen them. Just saying, in case you didn't know that. So as you're doing this, what I always do with mine is I fold my aluminum foil over like 4 or 5 times. I'll show you in the end. And once I fold it over 4 or 5 times, then you can really sharpen your scissors much quicker because you're going through a lot more material. Just saying. Now I'm just going to let this sit for a minute and dry. In the meantime, here's what I recommend you do with your aluminum foil. I recommend you fold it, then fold it. So I've got maybe 6 layers there. And then what I do is I just take my scissors and I just go through a bunch of layers. And I don't just do it with one pair of scissors. If I'm doing this, you know, when I have the aluminum foil, I figure I might as well go nuts and sharpen all my scissors. So that should have given my aluminum foil enough time to get serious about getting ready to go. So let me show you the embossing folder I'm going to use. It is a bigger one. It's a Cuttlebug one called Paisley Rose. It's from Anna Griffin, and it's a bigger one. It's not the smaller size. And so I like to put this in like this. I'm going to put it in from the straight side because the side I'm using right now is not, on my paper, is not straight. So I'm going to put it in this way. And then I'm going to take my book and make sure that this is going to be big enough. If it's not, with as much as I have sticking out the top, I'm going to do a little bit more. Maybe, hopefully this will fit into my die cutter. I'm going to do that much and then cut it at the bottom. Take your Tim Holtz scissors. You want some pretty heavy duty scissors for this because you're cutting through cardboard. And you're just going to, jeez. So now I'm going to put this in and run it through my die cutting machine, and I'll be back in a minute. So here's my plan. I cut one piece. I had 2 flaps of a box, so I cut that one in the die cutter, and then I cut it in half because I thought it would work better on here, because then this is all the wider the embossing folder is. But if you really want to make it work, you have to have another piece. So what I did was I turned a third piece over, and it almost looks like it belongs. Not quite, but better than if I turned it this way. If I turn it this way, then it looks a lot worse. So I'm turning it this way, and we're going to go with it. So that's my plan at this juncture, and now we're going to get our glue and just make sure it that we've got it really covering our whole back section. And this kind of glue gets sticky really fast, and even though it's super runny, I don't know why it's super runny. If anybody out there knows, tell me, because I think it's probably because of its age, but I never opened it, so I don't think it should be that. But you know how these things go with me. And I have more glue than I need, but I'm going to just keep rubbing it around, and then I'm going to put it on the backs of my, anything extra I'm just going to put on the backs of my cardboard. Again, I have that purple on there, so that's, you know, an issue. Okay, and you want to make sure that you keep track of the order that you lay them in, because you don't want to lay them down out of order. I'm going to push this as far as I can into the seam, into the binding of my journal. If we have to put more glue on it, we will. Or if I have to put tear tape on it, I can do that too. I just want to make sure it's right. And then this one slides right up to that one. Like that. I'm going to make sure my cardboardy piece doesn't come off. And then this is the last piece. This is the piece that I struggled with to decide how I wanted to lay it on there. I don't want it this way. I want it upside down like this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's how I wanted to lay it. I know it's kind of weird because it's upside down, but I didn't have a choice. As you know, when you only have an embossing folder that's so wide, you can't exactly come up with a plan that's going to make it get wider when it won't. Okay, let all this, I'm probably going to have to put something heavy on it and let it get set, and then I'll be back. So this is my palette of alcohol inks. It's from Tim Holtz. It looks like this. You put your alcohol inks in there, and then if they dry out, you just use some of that blending solution to re-wet them. But my goal is to hopefully be able to paint as many of these flowers. I'm going to put a drop in my orange, my yellow, and my red for now. And these brushes are also from a kit of Tim Holtz tools. I think they're called, there it is right there. It's called the Tim Holtz Alcohol Ink Tool Set. You get a mini mister, which I never used, and then you get the paint brushes, and you get, I think, I'm not sure. I think that was it. Could be there's more, but right at this juncture I can't remember. And my goal here is to paint the flowers and make the whole background come alive, hopefully. I don't think I have enough of that red in there. We'll give it a whirl though. I was never really fond of my alcohol inks before I got this tool set, but now that I have this tool set and I know that I can actually paint images and not just have abstract squirted out alcohol ink messes, that is what I usually had. This makes me a lot happier because now I can actually use this for use it for more my version of crafty things. I'm not a really abstract kind of girl. I like I like images. I will say this, when you do this, you need to work relatively quickly because these alcohol inks will dry out on you because of the alcohol in them. And so you really want to hustle. I'm probably going to have to get more of my red because I just put a ton of that blending solution in there. And that will dilute it. I'm just going to wipe my brush onto paper towel and go to my next color. And my next color is going to be this orangish color. The person I'm giving this book to saw me make a card with this technique and she loved the card. I thought it would be nice then if I gave her something that would be more permanent than a card. Well, every card is permanent if you keep it, but I'm just saying, if she wanted to have something that she could look back on and go, oh, that I remember when Sandy made that, whatever. She'd have the image to do it. Now I'm going to wet down the purple. No, I'm going to do that orange, this orange. I was trying to make my colors on this side work with these, and I'm hoping that they will. I'm going to paint over these with, I'm going to add more colors to them as I go. I'm mixing a couple colors together now, my oranges and my my red and my yellows, because I'm kind of out of everything, so I'm just gonna smear it onto my bigger flower here. And I'm just gonna wipe that off. Then I'm gonna go for my green, put some dollops of my mixing solution, in my green, so I can do some leaves. Okay, so this is the replacement for my hot mess in my art journal. I hope that you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.